Okay, now it's your time, guys. Let's listen. Great.
In this video, we're talking about perhaps and maybe. This is a question that a student asked me. They asked me
Okay,
specifically.
not that one. That is for later.
In this video, let's talk about the difference between maybe, probably, and definitely. This is a question that I received from a student, and I'm happy to help you use these confidently. Of course, my name's Jennifer from jforrestenglish.com, and this channel is dedicated to helping you sound like a fluent, confident, natural English speaker. Now, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. Now, let's dive in with this video. Today, let's talk about the difference between maybe, probably, and definitely. Now, all three are used to talk about how likely something is to happen. The difference between them is where they are on the scale of not likely to likely. So let's see our scale. Now, we can put maybe right in the middle. Maybe means there's a 50% chance it will happen, a 50% chance it won't happen. It's right in the middle. There are many synonyms to maybe, so other adverbs that you can use that have exactly the same meaning. The most common are perhaps and possibly. They both represent a 50% chance of happening. Now, we can go on to an event that's more likely to happen, about a 75% chance, and that's probably. Probably. So the difference between maybe and probably is more likely to happen. Now, let's move on to 100% or as close to 100% as we can because it's still a future event. And in that case, it would be definitely. So when I hear definitely, I think, yes, that's happening. 100% chance of happening or as close to as 100 as you can. 99, 98. Very close to 100. So that's the difference, just how likely they are to happen. So let's use these in an example. Let's say I ask you, are you going to the party tonight? Now you could reply back and say, maybe. Just that one word, maybe. I know there's a 50% chance of you going to the party. Or you could reply back and say, probably. Probably. Now I know there's a 75% chance of you going to the party. Or you could reply back and say, definitely. If you say definitely, I'd say, I'll see you there. Because I'm going to the party, and you said definitely, which means as close to as 100% as we can. So I would say, see you at the party. Now, you can use these as one-word answers, and we commonly do. You can also put them in a sentence. Now, here's where things get a little more advanced because we need to think of the placement of the adverb in the sentence. Maybe is placed at the beginning of the sentence. So I would say, maybe I'll go to the party at the very beginning. Now that only applies to maybe. With perhaps, I would say, I'll perhaps go to the party. Perhaps follows the normal adverb placement. Normal placement is before the main verb. Notice in this example, I have two verbs. I have will and go. Will is the auxiliary verb. Go is the main verb. So generally, our adverb is placed before the main verb. I'll perhaps go to the party. I'll possibly go to the party. Maybe is an exception. Maybe I'll go to the party. Probably and definitely also follow our regular adverb placement. I'll probably go to the party before the main verb. I'll definitely go to the party before the main verb. Now notice on our scale, we don't have anything below 50%. So if I wanted to show a 25% possibility lower than maybe, I would use probably in the negative, and I would say probably not. So as a one word, well now two word answer, are you going to the party? Probably not. So it's not a no, but there's a 75% chance I won't go to the party. It's low on our scale of likeliness. Now, to put probably not in a sentence, we have not, which is negative. Now, we have will go. So not and will would be combined to form won't, okay? So now we have probably, won't, and go. The placement of probably is before the auxiliary verb. So this is an irregular placement because the sentence would be, I probably won't go to the party. So with adverbs, we do have to consider their placement, and there are always exceptions to rules in English. And in this case, we have two exceptions. But as one word answers, you don't need to worry about that. Now it's your turn to practice. I want you to leave 4 sentences in the comments using your 4 new adverbs, and make sure you put it in a full sentence so you can practice having the correct placement of your adverb as well. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe. Now before you go, make sure you head on over to my website, jforrestenglish.com, and download.
Okay, that is an advertisement, so we will stop, guys. But I want you to tell me. We are going to test your memory and see how much you learned from the video. So tell me, guys, what are the adverbs that we can use to show 50% chances?
Maybe, perhaps, possibly.
And possibly, okay? Maybe, perhaps, and possibly. Those are the 3 adverbs that we use. So these are called adverbs of probability, okay? Good. Thank you, Brian and Andrea. So good. Perfect. And what are the adverbs that we use to express 75%?
Probably.
Probably, exactly, okay? Probably. All right. Then what is the one that we use if we want to express 99%?
Definitely.
Definitely, okay? Definitely. Very good. Excellent. And what about 25%, guys?
Probably not.
Probably not. Exactly. You will say, hey, I will probably not going to go, okay? Or I will, or I won't go. That is 100%. It's 0%. Won't. The use of will. That means you will not go. I won't go. But for 25%, you will use probably not. Perfect. Okay. So now we have the whole scale, guys. 0, will. Okay. Probably not. 25. 50, we have 3, which are perhaps, maybe, or possibly. 75, probably, and 100%, we have definitely. Good. Excellent. So now we have more vocabulary. The invitation is to use them in your regular speech. Now, a little bit more advanced, as she said. You can use this, guys, as 1 or 2 word answers. Hey, would you go to the conference? Definitely. Will you go to the conference? Probably not. Will you go to the conference? Maybe, perhaps. Okay? But if you want to use them in a sentence, where do we place the adverb in a sentence, guys?
Or maybe at the beginning of the sentence.
Yes, which one is the one that we are going to use at the beginning of the sentence?
Maybe.
Maybe, exactly. Maybe I will not go, coach, because I have plans already. Great, thank you, Alvin. Okay, and what about the rest? What is the rule, guys? Where do we use them? Hmm?
Before the main verb.
Before the main verb, exactly. Excellent. Before the main verb. Perfect. The exception is maybe, because we will use maybe at the beginning. All right. Excellent. Okay. So good job, guys. At this point, do you have any question, guys? Or what about the negative form? Where do we place the adverb in a negative form? In a negative sentence. Where, guys? Where do we place the adverbs in a negative sentence? Okay, let me ask Miguel. Miguel, can you tell us where do we place the adverb in a negative sentence?
After the auxiliary verb. If you use would, it is after would.
Exactly. Thank you, Miguel. Okay. In this case, we will say if you are using won't, okay, will not, okay, we will say I probably won't go. I probably won't go. Perfect. Okay, we are going to use not with the auxiliary, and then we will place the adverb before the auxiliary. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, I hope you found this video helpful and that you will remember what you have learned. Perfect. Any question, guys? No questions? Okay, so what we will do is do some clarification, and also we are going to have a little test, okay? So here we have some information, guys. Despite, definitely, maybe, possibly, perhaps, probably, we have an other adjective. I mean other adverbs like certainly, clearly, and obviously, and the way we use them is the same. I mean the placement in a sentence will be the same. Okay, very good. I want someone who can help me with this, please. Okay, let's go with Marvin. Marvin, please help me with this.
Okay, teacher. Perhaps, maybe and perhaps usually come at the beginning of the clause. Perhaps the weather will be fine. Maybe it won't rain.
Okay, thank you, Marvin. And all right, so guys, we now know that maybe and also perhaps can be used at the beginning because they are almost the same. Okay, perfect. Right, I hope that is clear. Now we have the other rule that other adverbs of possibility usually come in front of the main verb. Okay, so before, he is certainly coming to the party. Certainly, okay, like definitely. Will they definitely be there? Right, before the main verb. Here you have underlined the main verb of this sentence. We will possibly come to England next year. So this is what we have learned in the video, guys, as well. Okay, but in the present simple or past simple of the verb to be, if that is the main verb or if that is in the sentence, we are going to use this after, okay? This is the main verb, but in this case, we are not using this in front of the main verb, but after the main verb. They are definitely at home. We will not say they definitely are at home. No, we use that pattern with other verbs, like they definitely will go. They definitely have this. They definitely want this, right? But with the verb to be, we are going to use this after the verb to be. Okay, do you need any clarification in regards to this, guys?
No, bueno, at the moment, for me, no.
Okay, thank you. Milton, so this was not included in the video, but it's important, guys, okay? Because maybe we use it very often and we use it correctly, but we didn't know the rule. So the verb to be, after. Any other verb? Before. Good. Perfect. And obviously and possibly can sometimes come at the beginning of the class for emphasis. For emphasis. Okay, perfect. All right. So guys, do you have any questions so far with all this information?
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for letting me know. All right, nice. What we will do is we are going to have 8 items here or 8 questions. What is the order here, guys? What is the order?
Maybe
Maybe
Hmm?
Yuri's
Yuri's
train?
train.
Maybe,
Uri's train
Okay,
is late.
okay, perfect. He's late. Okay, we are going to check this later. Oops. Okay, let me try again. Sorry, so maybe, because maybe is used at the beginning, train is late. Okay, good job. We have one, and we will move to the next one. Okay, here, please help me with this one.
Definitely, your English is getting better.
Okay, this is the way I will put this. Definitely, your English is getting better. Okay, very good. Excellent. We are going to move on. Then we will check them. Next one.
My favorite band.
Huh?
Is probably YouTube.
It's probably YouTube. Okay, good, perfect. 3. Let's move on. What about this one?
Perhaps you left
Okay,
your sunglasses in the car.
in the car. All right, very good. I know, guys, that it is possible for you to talk like this. Perhaps you left your glasses in the car, but we are not used to use this type of adverbs. So, yes, try to get accustomed to this because that will make you feel sound natural. Good. What about this one? The adverb is clearly. Most of the adverbs ends in this ly, clearly, possibly.
Okay, the accident was not clearly
Hmm.
the accident.
Oh,
The
sorry.
accident was not clearly your fault.
Okay, good. Then we are going to see what is the grade that we will have. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Next one. We still have 3. Okay,
Oh, we should certainly meet soon again.
okay. We should certainly meet again soon. Okay, good job. Then let's move on. We have possibly here.
Possibly the government
Okay, the government.
will increase taxes.
Okay, will increase taxes. Good job. Let's move on to the last one and then we will see what's the score we have gotten. Hmm.
Mm, o- Obviously, Bruce is in love with Anna.
Okay, good job. Perfect. Okay, guys, that is the last one. Ready? Ready for the score? Okay, let's see what's the score that we have gotten, guys. Okay, total score 6 out of 8. 6 out of 8. Okay, we are going to go here. I think we can check them. This one is correct. Why? Because we have learned that obviously here and possibly can also be used at the beginning. Okay, sometimes, so good job. So obviously, Bruce is in love with Anna. Perfect. Let's go back. This one is also good. Possibly here, the government will increase taxes. Okay, let's go here. We should certainly meet again soon. Again, certainly. In front of the main verb of the sentence. Good job. And here we have a problem. Okay, the accident was not clearly your fault. What is another possibility, guys? Okay, Rene.
The accident was clearly not your fault.
Was clearly not your fault. Okay, good. Was clearly not your fault. Perfect. After we use the adverb after the verb to be. Before other verbs, but after the verb to be. So good job. Okay, perhaps this is very easy, guys, because we use perhaps at the beginning. But also we are going to learn more about this. So perhaps you left your sunglasses in the car. Good.
Teacher,
Yes?
I have a question about this, about that exercise. Perhaps what could be the meaning, like context? Because I will say maybe you left your sunglasses in the car, but perhaps it's very well for me it's a very weird word. So there
Okay,
could be a
Milton. So
meaning, or
that means that you don't use it that very often, right?
right? Definitely, definitely,
Definitely.
definitely.
Okay. Good. Yes. Actually, I have a different video to see what is the meaning of perhaps and maybe. Okay? Because both means the same, but there are some slight differences. We are going to learn this in a minute, Milton.
Okay, thank you.
But thank you. Good call out. All right, guys. So let's move on. So this one was easy. And of course, you can replace perhaps with maybe here. Okay, that's not a problem. My favorite one is probably YouTube. Okay, maybe in your daily speech you can say, oh, my favorite band is, I think, YouTube. Or maybe you can say, I think my favorite band is YouTube. But now you have something which is more advanced. My favorite band is probably YouTube. Perfect. So good job here. And this one, guys, what is the problem? Because if you think about this, definitely your English is getting better. Here we have this. Some adverbs sometimes come at the beginning of a clause for emphasis. If you want to add emphasis, you can use definitely like this. Definitely. Your English is getting better. Like in a conversation, if you want to add emphasis, all right? But most of the times we don't use it like that, okay? That's why it says sometimes, sometimes. Okay, so what is the correct order here if we are not using this to add emphasis? What is the other possibility? And I will let this to Brian. Brian, now that you know that, tell me, what is the right order here, Brian?
Your English is definitely getting better.
Exactly. Can you explain why, Brian?
Yes, it is because it says that it can be after it says that it can be after the present simple or past simple of be. Oh, no, no, no. The
Yes,
present
yes.
simple. The present simple. We are using the present simple.
No, also the past. Here, the present simple or past of be.
Okay.
Okay, yes, exactly. Good. Now we have this very clear, guys. Excellent. Thank you, Brian. And this was also good. Maybe your train is late. Perfect. Okay, guys, so I think we have learned a lot, but let me ask you, do you have questions or do you need clarification at any point?
Not
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think that native people remember all of these uh, positions
The
of rule
collocations, the rules,
collocations?
and maybe if you are a teacher, you remember this because you are teaching this. But even if you are a native speaker, maybe you will use this in a different position, in a different collocation. Yeah, because it's like in Spanish, maybe we don't use the best Spanish to talk, to communicate. So the same happened even with native English speaker. So yes, Daniel, maybe after you have taught this many times, you remember. But do you think, Daniel, that you will remember this?
I asked this because I find it a little bit confusing to know or to remember which adverb goes where.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely something that we have to work on. And what I do recommend is to keep this in mind. Only these three rules. Number one, perhaps and maybe can be used at the beginning. Okay. The others, like certainly, possibly, they go in front of the main verb. Okay. If your main verb is go, you will use this in front or before go. Okay, for the rest. And then if you are using the verb to be in the sentence, just don't put this in front, but after. Those three rules, only three rules you have to remember. And that is, it's going to be easy to remember. Only three rules. And those two are opposite. So it's even easier. And this is what I recommend to my basic English learners, guys. Like if you will learn adjectives, you can learn them like this. Good. What is the opposite of good?
But
Excellent. So learn them in pairs. The opposite. The opposite. Like here, with the verb be, we use this after the verb be. All other verbs in front. And that is the rule. And then the other rule is that perhaps and maybe can be used at the beginning. But I don't think that will be that complicated. And just keep it simple. I have tried to keep this simple in the class. But Daniel, I don't know if that clarification helped you a little bit.
Yes, it was helpful.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. All right, guys. So what we will do now is maybe you have the same question as Milton, and we are going to clarify that question. Okay, because many students have the same question. So what is the difference between perhaps and maybe? Please pay attention to the video to find out.
In this video, we're talking about perhaps and maybe. This is a question that a student asked me. They asked me specifically about perhaps, but I thought this was a great time to show you maybe as well. Of course, I'm Jennifer from jforrestenglish.com, and this channel is dedicated to helping you sound like a fluent, confident, natural English speaker. Now, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. Now, let's dive in with this video. Let's talk about maybe and perhaps. Now, first of all, you need to know that these are adverbs. And we use both of them when we think that something is possible, but not 100% certain. Now, although they both mean the same thing, maybe is more casual in tone, it's more conversational, and perhaps is more formal, more academic. Maybe is more commonly used. Now, the other difference is the sentence structure. Maybe we can use this at the beginning of a sentence. So I could say, maybe I'll go to the party. Maybe I'll go to the party. So this is when it's possible I'll go to the party, but it's not 100% sure. So I'm between yes, I'll go to the party, and no, I won't go to the party. I'm between them. Maybe I'll go to the party. Another example, let's say your friend says, have you seen my phone? And you could reply back and you could say, maybe you left it in the car. So here, your friend doesn't know 100% that you left it in the car. It's simply a possibility. Maybe you were just in the car a short while ago. Maybe you were just in the car. Again, it's not 100% certain, it's just a possibility. So your friend could say, maybe you left it in the car. And notice that placement is at the beginning of the sentence. Now, we can also use maybe as a one-word reply, which is very commonly used in conversations. So using our same example, your friend says, have you seen my phone? And then you could ask a question. You could say, did you leave it in the car? And then you could reply back and say, maybe, maybe. And of course, as a full sentence, that would be, maybe I left it in the car. It's possible. I don't know 100%, but it's possible. Maybe I left it in the car, or simply maybe. Are you going to the party tonight? Maybe. Maybe I'll go to the party tonight. So remember, we have these two options for placement at the beginning of the sentence or as a one-word reply, which of course could be turned into a full sentence when I hear perhaps. Maybe is more common. Again, as a one-word reply, are you going to the party tonight? Perhaps. Perhaps I'll go to the party tonight. Again, just a little, I'll go to the party tonight. To summarize, both maybe and perhaps have the same meaning as when something is possible but not 100%. We can use maybe at the beginning, more formal.
Okay, just for you to know, guys, here we have this information that you can use perhaps in the beginning, okay, of the sentence or in the regular adverb placement. I will perhaps go to the party, but you cannot do that with maybe. Maybe is used at the beginning of the sentence, and perhaps you can use it in the beginning, or you can use it in the regular adverb position, which is in front of the main verb. That is the difference between the two. That one is commonly used like maybe, and after this class I was using maybe, right? I don't know if you noticed, I was using maybe everywhere. But perhaps it's more formal or more academic. If you are giving a speech, instead of using maybe you want to use perhaps. Okay, perhaps you have to consider this when you do this and that. If you are giving a formal or academic speech. Okay, so is this clear for you guys? And for you, Milton?
Yes, it's more clear now.
Okay, it's clear now. What about the rest? Is it clear?
It's clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, thank you guys. Remember, the most important thing, guys, is to try to use them in your daily speech. Okay, you can say, yes, I will definitely try. Or probably I will remember this. Okay, so guys, if you learned something today, please try to use it in your everyday English. And I hope to see you tomorrow, because tomorrow we have a new grammar topic and I hope you will enjoy it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good night.
you. Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.